Let me bring in criminal defense attorney John Mobley to talk a little bit about this. John, boy, oh boy, is this interesting. You know, the state was saying, okay, look, if you want immunity, it's got to be something that kind of falls within the realm of sex trafficking. And the highest court saying, no, 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 you can present this immunity defense for homicide here because this is something that would flow therefrom. The abuse that one suffers at the hands of the person trafficking them and holding them in a hostage type situation might justify what was done here. Do you think, now knowing what she can do with her defense, do you think she's got a good shot at winning this case when it goes?
I think she's got an excellent shot. You know, this decision actually reminds me of when the court finally recognized, you know, battered spouse syndrome as a self-defense and expanded the right of self-defense to include that. And for our viewers, you know, historically there are laws about self-defense, but at some point the court determined that a woman that was abused by a spouse could have a heightened sense of a fear of death, even if there was no, you know, actual abuse occurring at the time, and could use that as a defense in murder cases when they shot and killed an abusive spouse that was not actually in the act of abusing them. And basically this decision appears to be along the same line for victims of sex trafficking. And I definitely believe that you know, it can be successful in this case. Oftentimes when you have someone that's a victim of a crime and they're trying to use a defense of self-defense and murder, oftentimes the law can kind of tie a jury's hands where they can want to give someone the benefit of the doubt, but the law is so clear that, hey, you know, although we feel sorry for you or we believe you, what occurred does not fit within the confines of the law and it doesn't apply to your case, and they have no choice or feel they have but no choice but to convict the victim/defendant. But now what this does is if the jury believes that a person is a victim of sex trafficking and they want to find a legitimate way to acquit them, they have the legal mechanism to do it.
Exactly, John, exactly. Excellent points you made. And another interesting fact that we've learned through following this case is that nearly 40 states have passed laws giving trafficking victims at least some type of criminal immunity. This is according to Legal Action of Wisconsin. That's an organization helping give legal assistance to those people who may be indigent. And so this is good to know that there is some protection out there, you know, for people like Chrystul Kizer who are suffering. And this one just has been so heartbreaking from the outset, and she's had such an enormous outpouring of support. You know, since the time, I mean, this is back in 2018. We've been tracking this case and following it, and I can't wait to see if this one goes to trial. We know our cameras are generally allowed in Wisconsin. We're in a Wisconsin trial now. So if this one goes, wouldn't that be great to see it play out, John? This is one that I would love to see if, you know, if the state doesn't withdraw the charges, and I don't think they're going to do that. At this point, I could be wrong. Do you? That's a good question for you. Do you think maybe this ruling from the Supreme Court might change their move and moving forward here?
It's definitely going to change their strategy. And one thing I think about as well is how this ruling may be used in other cases. I mean, I think oftentimes victims of sex trafficking continue to be victimized even within the system that's supposed to be trying to protect them. You know, often these young girls, you know, they're ready for prostitution, you know, when they're being made to get out there and do these things, and there's no defense to them, and they're being further, you know, victimized. They're being prosecuted, and those things aren't being considered. So I believe this ruling is going to have some far-reaching effects for victims of sex trafficking.